The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
What is good, everybody? Welcome to another Friday night here on the House of Stein YouTube channel for the Hot 10 books of the week on the secondary market for the week of March 14th, 2025. Little different intro tonight. Where did that come from? Holy moly. I was telling...
Man, so I had YouTube playing in the background and I was listening. So I was listening to the beat like twice, but it was in sync still. Like it wasn't off time. I was like, why does the beat sound so good and different right now? Like, am I like tripping or something like that? Like, what's going on? And then like I heard you talking, and I was like, it sounds really good for right now. And then I started hearing double Bryan. I was like, oh, all right.
That's what the viewers hear half the time when I fuck up the volume.
No.
Yeah. Where are you at, Stein? You look like you're in a different place. You're on the road.
I am in a really nice Marriott in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're battling power outages and all kinds of stuff today with the winds. It was they got fires going on. It looked like the end of the world before the sunset. The whole sky was like all dirt, and it just looked bizarre.
Well, you said you were in Oklahoma, so blink 3 times if you're actually safe.
Yeah.
I did not even get a chance because they're in Oklahoma City. I didn't get a chance to go visit Doc Joe or Trey or anybody because Tulsa's like an hour and a half ish from there, and I just I had no time to get over there. But
Doc Joe hit me
tomorrow, and then out to DC after that.
Doc Joe comes out here for something every couple months too. So I gotta hit up with him at some point. Check this out, Stein. Got my Flops comics.
I was gonna say, is that floppy?
Yeah, nice. Got my Flops comics issue in from the UK. Leg showed this the other night on Wednesday Night Review, but yeah, showed up today. Look at how beautiful that cover is.
Was that Batman on the back?
Yeah, so these are little extras. Like this little card right here is a little card that he made for Marilyn Monroe kind of card. And then the back, he gave extras like these stickers and then this little Batman print. And yeah, he did the Batman. This guy is fucking going to blow the fuck up. You watch.
Fuck that dude, man. He didn't send me shit I ordered, dude.
Yet?
Yep. It's been over a year.
For what?
Oh, some fucking books I ordered.
You better double check on that and make sure it's not because of you that he didn't send them. Because that happened to me on Kickstarter recently. I talked about this. I forgot to go and put something on Kickstarter that
where you fill out the survey.
Yeah.
Your address. Where it confirms your address. So like, hey, do you still want it delivered here?
Yeah.
So it's my fault that I got fucked.
Did you order it from Kickstarter or from his website?
I'm just playing out of
here. Hey, dude, you were wearing suggestive clothing. What do you think?
I saw a video. I got to send a video to Hood.
Hey, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah,
we're live.
Oh man.
Hey, I gotta tell you something, Hood, real quick, and chat. Let me know.
What happened? What did I do, man?
So I saw this video on IG, and it's a video. I think it was on IG. And it's a video. Do you guys remember Boss Rutan, the MMA fighter? And he is telling how to fight in a bar if you're a door guy. And the whole time I'm seeing Red Hood Red Hood and Boss Rutan. I'm telling you, I'm gonna find this by the end of the show. I'm gonna play it by the end of the show before Hood leaves.
What?
So, I mean, it would make sense why we had 2 Red Hoods on Long Story Short last night. This is, like,
Really?
trippy. Yeah, it's like he jumped in twice into the StreamYard, and I put them both on the air, so he had like dual cameras going on at the same time.
So
It was trippy.
this is what I'm talking about. Tell me this isn't Hood. Watch this.
And talking to the guy, and suddenly, boom, a headbutt. Bang, follow up with a headbutt. Boom, knee to the head. And look what we got here. Smack his face. Now, this is a very dangerous weapon right here. This is where they put the receipts on. Boom, the right elbow, bang, right straight. Maybe now the headbutt comes. Knee to the face, elbow to the groin. Grab him. Look, sir, I really don't want anything of this. And I go, whoop, like this.
Tell me that isn't Hood right there. Tell me that isn't Hood. Look, sir.
Bang, bang, don't you ever do this.
See, I would fucking sing, dude. I would.
If he could like explain that while riding a bike and running to a tree, then I would believe it was Hood.
Yeah. Oh,
I would start singing, dude. Some fucking Adele and shit like that.
That's terrible shit, man.
Oh, Big
All
Clutch
right.
says 100% with 2% signs. Look at that. That's he's confirming it.
Hey, did you
So that's
see
like-
my fucking pussy shirt, dude?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
pull it up. Hey, that's gonna be my new merch, dude. The
Dude,
it
Red
needs to
Hood
be
merchant.
It needs to be bigger on the front and then says "Mama" on the back.
Yes, dude. Hey, pull it up, Brian. Tell me what you think, chat. It's a
Yeah, the
fucking
logo needs
pussy
to be-
shirt, dude.
It needs
I
to
got
be
the
bigger.
idea from Clutch.
The pussy needs to be bigger, and then
Well, we'll figure
Right.
out how to make this shirt, bro.
Bro, that
We'll
shit's
make
gonna
this
sell
shirt.
like polo, bro.
No, what it
Look at
needs to
that.
say is it needs
Make
to
it-
have you. Well, maybe that's what it needs to have. That on one side, and then like something that says "Mama" with like a something to do
redhead
with
logo.
like.
I'm gonna have
Or
some
something.
on my shirts, dude.
No, you
it'll
need-
be a little
You need to
like a
have like
logo, bro.
like the leg of a J. Scott Campbell image, you know, that looks like a J. Scott Campbell image, but maybe necessarily isn't. And then just say
Bro,
"Mama."
what if
on
I
it.
hit up Campbell to draw me something and put "Mama,"
Oh.
dude?
If you buy the original art for a Campbell item, can you use that original art on T-shirts?
I don't want to get into that, dude, because I got in a fight with an old friend of mine that was an artist, dude. He got pissed that I put so I bought some art from him, right? That I had commissioned and I paid money, and then I put it on eBay, and this dude flipped the shit. He goes, "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" I go, "Who the fuck is this?" He goes, "This is Trent." And I go, "What the fuck you want, bro?" He goes, "Who said you could sell my art?" I go, "Your art? That's fucking my art. I gave you the idea, and all you did was fucking draw it, dude. It's fucking mine. I paid for it. You're lucky I don't sell your ass on eBay, bro." So I ran into that motherfucker at my buddy's shop, dude. He moved to Florida. He works for fucking Tops, dude. He's a fucking pussy, dude.
I
And
think it just
I go,
depends-
"Hey, motherfucker," and he looked at me like, "Fucking slap."
Shout out to Heroes
so
Reborn with the $4.99 super chat. He says, "What's up, Brian, Ben,
Fuck
and
these
Hood?
artists, bro.
Best Hot 10 on YouTube."
doesn't
Yeah.
it depend on what the artist says when you buy the art, like if it can be used in like
Yeah,
a
there was
commercial
no-
production or something.
There was
I mean,
no.
I
like-
get your story is like different because it's your friend as well. So that I feel like that's different.
yeah, he
but
was
say like
my friend.
right, exactly. So I think
When I
so it's
sold
a
his
little bit-
books for him, that's hey, good. I heard you can sell stuff on eBay and stuff, man. You sell some books for? Yeah, I'll sell you some books, bro. And
Right,
then I
but
sell
then-
books, and then he calls me a flipper.
All
He
right.
called me a
Yeah.
flipper. Fuck you, man.
Dirty flipper. You dirty flipper. Let's get into the whoa/blow books of the week.
Hey, my mother-in-law fucking flashed me, bro. Dude,
This
she
fucking
came.
guy.
Dude, I ain't lying, bro. Hey, dude,
Did you scream "Mama in law"?
bro.
Alex with the $5 super chat says this is for Ben's sleep.
Hey, bro. My dude. So she started yelling at me, and I go, get the fuck out of the house, right? And she goes like this. She pulls down her fucking like that, and I went, ah, bro. A fucking shit looked like dead fish, bro.
Well, speaking of that, the woe book / blow book of the week, I do want to show. So let me do this real quick.
Bro, I gotta show you a picture of this fucking bitch, dude.
No, don't.
I'm gonna film her, dude.
Don't.
I'm gonna fucking film her, dude.
Don't. You are not.
No,
bro.
with
we
the
are.
fucking
You
shit.
are not going to do any of that.
Hey, I spent
No.
$350 on this fucking slushy machine, and this bitch was trying to make a dude. Like I barely fucking got it, dude. She almost fucking broke it, dude. Bro.
Hold on, my computer's messing up on me.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so the woe / blow book of the week, but I got to figure out something here real quick.
Oh, it was worse than something about Mary Clutch. It was worse, bro. Shit had a mole on it and stuff, dude. It was nasty, dude.
I don't know if this is worse or better. The woe / blow book of the week is Yuli's Vision #1 from Megan Hetrick, but
Oh man, I forgot to put my blow book.
we had to mark it out a little bit. But gorgeous. Shout out to Iman Tony out there, a longtime OG viewer and community member, for sending in the woe / blow books of the week this week. So Megan
You knew who
Hetrick,
to message to get them out.
yeah. This
How
is
many,
Get it
times
to the
has
group
that,
chat.
how many times has that pose been used?
who knows? It's a
Oh.
great pose though.
All the time.
A billion times since Renaissance days. I don't know.
Mhm.
Since caveman drawings.
Right.
It's awesome. Shout out to Keith playing cover tunes. He says, I'm on a run day now, heading to España.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. You going to Barcelona? Barcelona.
Going to the Barcelona?
That's isn't that how if you're we should have
That's how
That's
asked
not your
we should-
Anwar. That's my Anwar.
we should have asked Suspiria if that is correct. Is that how you say there's like a th to the s in Spain? Anyways, moving on to our
It's my new favorite artist, just so you know.
That's how Castilian Spanish is. They over enunciate. It's like speaking proper English kind of
Yeah.
situation.
yeah. That's a dope book though. So shout out to that one. Now for our blow book of the week.
All right, let's go.
Oh, that
Let's do this shit.
That blows. This is Curse Frog. Curse Frog.
Bro,
That's a-
that's fucking awesome, dude.
Well, the skull
Dude.
makes
Some
it
speed
better.
baggins.
I know McClay found that book, dude. I know McClay found that book.
It looks
Get the
like
hell out
Zelda and Mario kind of mixed together a little bit. Maybe
Bro, Great.
it's also
dude. Who made
Berserk
that?
inspired. So there you go. So
Oh
shout
man,
out
this
to
looks like one of my bad tattoos.
yes.
By Lucas
Yeah.
Riga.
So
Man, that's good, dude. Curse
Yeah.
Frog.
Oh,
like
guess
it.
who submitted this one?
Who?
E-Man Tony. Big shout out to him.
Nice, man.
He was prepared. He was prepared this week. He had a
Bro.
blow book and a woe, and labeled
Man.
which one was closer. Or
Man, Tony,
like
bro.
clearly, like I was like kind of like.
That's
I
how you
appreciate
bring
that.
it. That's how you bring it, chat. That's how you bring it right there. You come with a sexy book and a fucked up book, dude.
Amen. So let's get into Buy the Dip. Starting off with a classic, an absolute classic, one of the, probably in my opinion, my top 10 favorite covers of all time. Catwoman number 51, the Adam Hughes classic, iconic.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just kind of looking through to see what CGC 98 books have sold recently, and this one kind of brought my attention. I was like, I saw the price, a recent sale of, I think it was $2.95 or best offer. Well, it ended up being actually selling for $2.35. I was like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of low. Let me look into see like what some other ones are selling for. So there was one like right after that it was listed as a buy it now for $3.25, and then they took the offer of $2.95. So I'm guessing they saw that $2.95 one sell, and then that one followed it, right?
Yeah.
To like kind of price match two different sellers. Well, the 2025 high is at $350. The low being $223. So like that $235 is definitely getting close to that to the low for the year.
Mama.
The all-time high for this book is actually $390, which I thought it would sell for
higher.
500? Yeah, I feel like I've seen it sell for a little bit more, like closer to 500, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like this was always a 500, but maybe it was always like get on that cusp to approach 500, right?
Yeah.
Last year, go ahead.
This is one of those rare non-variants, just the regular cover that can reach up to the 300 to 500 9/8 level, right? Like this Detective 880. Like there's very few of those books that are non-variants like from this time period.
Like open to order books, right? That does like kind of
open to order, yeah.
Am I crazy for saying this is probably one of the greatest covers in the last 25 years?
Not at all, bro.
Right.
I feel like it's definitely one of those top iconic books that you kind
of. I'll be honest.
Everybody forgets about it because I mean they're there. I mean it's not a rare book, but there's not a lot of 9/8s.
So something crazy about this book. This is the book that got me back into holding a box at a comic store. So I used to always get my stuff when DCB services first started, DCBS. I bought everything through them. And I would get like, not just my comics, I would get shirts, statues. I would buy everything, and I did that for about probably a year. And so I would just get previews all the time and just read through previews. And I remember I saw this book and I'm like, I'm not taking a chance on missing out on this. I'm going to an actual comic shop and I'm going to get a box and tell them I want, 5 of these right here. And the same time, this was the last year I went to San Diego before the pandemic. And I think it was the last year. And I went to San Diego specifically to get this print. He did a print of 150, a really badass like lithograph. And
nice.
just to get that print, dude. And
hey, bro,
classic.
I'd go rob a bank to bail this chick out of jail, bro.
Yep. Yeah. Amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely be on the lookout for this book. I mean, it's kind of like bouncing back and forth right now between like the lows and like approaching back to the highs. But like, it seems like you can get those deals like when someone's like a little bit more desperate to sell.
Do you guys think that because they reprinted it so much, they have reprinted it and foiled, like Zabit's saying, that's the reason why it's down so low? Because man, I feel like this is hovering around a $200 level. I would snap up as many of these as possible at $200 a piece.
I mean, like that's a great question, Brian, because like when you start doing this shit, you sort of like take away the mystique of the book. You know what I mean? It almost feels like it's too plentiful, but in reality, it's not. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's say you have this book, right? Okay. Are you willing to sell this book, like if you have it, to replace it with the foil and have that in your placeholder? That's what I'm saying. So like people aren't letting them go. Like
but there's a lot of new collectors in the hobby, and you just shine some foil shit at them, and they're all like, "Oh my god, I gotta get that!" Because I mean,
don't get me wrong. I love shiny shit too.
Yeah,
I love shiny shit as well.
Yeah, but shiny shit on new shit. shiny shit
Yeah.
on new shit, not shiny shit on old shit. Like,
Okay.
I
Well,
don't
I'll
need
give-
a foil of ASM 14 first appearance of Goblin, dude.
What
You know
about
I mean?
ASM 361, which is our next book on Buy the Dip?
Yeah. So First Carnage, right? CGC 9.8 direct version recently sold for $2.95.
That's a fucking crime.
So do you want to take a stab at what the all-time high was?
800.
About a grand.
1620.
Oh,
1620 for
Yeah,
for-
it was in 2021 though,
Hey,
so I
COVID.
definitely put an asterisk. I mean, but that's the same time you're thinking also the announcements of like Woody Harrelson, right, about to be in Venom and all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that motherfucker shit the bed, dude.
No, I think
Yeah,
Venom
and
should
then-
be bed, not Woody Harrelson.
Bro. Like when you heard Woody was cast as Carnage, like that's a layup, bro. That's a slam dunk. Like, how do you fuck that up, dude? Well, they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then so this had so the other high I put down of all time was 1140, and that was in 2022. I didn't look deeper into that, like what time of the year it was. It was like early or late. I'm assuming early in 2022. But if you're looking to buy, 90-day average is $306. 2025 high is 440. The low for this year was 238. So if you sold these like at those all-time highs and you want this book back, you could probably safely buy it back and not have to worry about flipping it again. Just add it back to your.
You think about $1,600 back then. Like there was better books that you could have spent $1,600 on, dude. Not everything was like through the roof.
Yeah, but it was free money. I mean, when it's free money, nobody cares. You just are like, I want that, I'll buy it. I didn't.
Oh, you're assuming that they were all on the.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people
extra.
got that money though. So, right?
I definitely
didn't get that shit.
I definitely had a friend that was like, "Oh, I've never had this much money all at once,"
Oh, brother.
and then bought something like crazy ridiculous that he would probably never, because he probably was never going to get that much money.
Called
ever
karma,
again.
bro. It's called karma.
So
I
so he ended up
remember-
buying like something crazy expensive, like an
Yeah.
electric guitar. But
Babe, we need a new roof. No, it's gonna be okay. I just got Carnage for only $1,600.
you can use that slab to seal it. No.
Yeah. Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. All right, moving on to the Almost 10. Starting off with a super tough final issue, Youngblood issue number 78 is a tough book to find. This is crazy.
Yeah, so this was like a $25, $30 book. It sold for I think more than 50 this week. Can somebody explain to me why it's like in letterbox?
Probably because it's the final issue. They wanted to kind of do that.
They're like,
yeah.
we're definitely not showing feet on this one. We're just going to.
They tricked you. They put it in a poly bag, so you expected when you took it out, it was gonna be full art, but then it's just black boxes.
Yeah, that's
No,
a
I'm just
tough
joking. I
book,
have no
dude.
idea.
That is a tough book. I wonder how many of these were being ordered or printed at this time period. 2013, Youngblood, probably not many, right? This is back. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that's crazy about this book, and only hardcore Rob Liefeld fans will think of this. This is back when Rob Liefeld had young Liefeld Jr. drawing the interiors for him, which is John Malin, right? And John Malin's art at this time period looks so much like Rob Liefeld is unreal.
Oh, shout out to Rob Liefeld for inventing the hip hop layout for
The
comics
hip hop
covers.
cover layout. Hey man, Rob Liefeld is right all the time. There's going to be a Beyond Wednesdays shirt that just says Rob Liefeld is right. And because he backs it up with receipts, man. The guy brings receipts. So I would love to see the receipts on this, how many were ordered.
And then Stein's going to sell shirts that says Liefeld was wrong or something like that, with his head shaking on the back. It's gonna be a lenticular shirt where Stein shaking his head.
Yeah. So I bet you the final like 5 copies or 10 copies of this series are probably pretty rare, I'd imagine. So, but they're getting a lot of love right now because of the whole Rob Liefeld coming back to Young Blood. Going to be, he's definitely in the news about Young Blood, and Young Blood is on comic collectors' minds right now. So, I'm not surprised that this is selling for $50 a pop at raw condition. So, probably a tough 9.8 at that too. All right, moving on to Lock and Key, the Guide to Known Keys, the convention variant. Now, I don't know if there was any more issues after this. I don't remember this this spinoff, but this is a tough book right here. This is a really tough book.
Yeah, so the one you're showing is a black and white. There's actually a color version that looks almost identical to the A cover of this. And I tried to the only thing it's missing on the convention version is it doesn't have the barcode, and like the bottom left-hand corner is like in purple instead of, it's like a different color. I don't understand. But yeah, I don't really know. I thought Lock and Key was a fun series, but I don't know what happened when they decided to do the TV show. It just completely fell off the planet.
Yep.
So I think I've had this book before. But I don't know that version. But when you read it inside, it's just literally a guide to all the keys.
Yep.
Where it's like each individual page is like the outline of the key, and then I think on the next page it has like a little write-up of what it does, and
That's
like
weird.
a little journal entry or something like that.
Would you buy that if it was a Batman book? Like Batman's
Like-
Guide to the Keys?
like guide through his like bat belt or something like that.
Or anything. I mean, like they
Or
did that with Lock
Batman
and Key. But
gadgets.
yeah, but I mean, is that something that people would buy for other characters or other properties? I don't know.
I mean, I think it makes sense in the context of this book, right? Because the keys are so important and they do different things. And
Are you talking about like the actual keys, not the keys of like this was the first appearance of this kid, or this is the first appearance?
no, yeah. So it's like the actual key.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a guide for all the different like keys that are used throughout the
My
comic
mind
series.
was saying keys for like the comics.
Yeah,
I'm tired. Cut me a slack.
Boom. No, it's all right. You're tired. We're all tired. It's Friday.
This is it.
We're
right
here to party.
How it looks on the inside, right? But here's the
Yeah.
interesting thing: there is this variant to it. That's a comics. What is this? Comic Market variant. I don't know anything, but I can't find the one you're talking about, Stein. Was that on a recent sale?
Yeah, it was a recent sale. That was a sale this week. That's why I put it on there. But like if you look at the A cover, it's got the balloon and it's all in color, and it's got just the A cover. But the convention version of it is still in all color, but it doesn't have a barcode, and like it's just weird. The keys that are falling out of the balloon on the bottom left are like in a different color. It's just it's real subtle though. You don't really notice it. I thought it was the A cover. I was like, oh, that's just the A cover, but no, it's not the A cover. It's
Oh, I see it. I found it. Did you find it?
Yeah.
It's that first listing. Because there's an A cover right underneath it.
yeah. So like the bottom left is like in blue, and the regular cover it's all gray across the whole underneath the moon.
Yeah.
It's very strange. I mean, it's real subtle, but I don't.
That is subtle. Shout out to J Photos. Of course, Joe Hill.
I think I have that one, dude. not the black and white. That one.
Well, they did some really weird second printings and later printings with Lock and Key. I remember back in the day.
Okay.
There was one for the second or third issue where it was like a second or third printing and it was exactly the same, if I remember correctly. There was like no difference.
Issue one. Issue one was exactly, but the only difference you could see was a little red dot in the IDW light bulb.
God.
Yes. Yeah, old school IDW. So, yeah, that's cool, man. All right, moving on. This one's interesting. I have been seeing a ton of people talking about the uptick in comic collectors, comic businesses, and more talk about finding firsts in old school Shonen Jumps or old school manga magazines. I even think Topher commented where he said, key collectors now, putting firsts of these in his stuff. And this one's pretty interesting because it's, of course, an anime that a lot of us might have been our first anime. Like it was either this or Ninja Scroll for a lot of people, at least that I know. Fist of the North Star. So this is Hokuto no Ken Volume 1, which reprints the Fist of the North Star volumes 1 through 7 from the original Shonen Jump back in, I don't know, the early 80s or 70s, I imagine. And this is graded by Beckett, who started grading a lot of these, thicker manga and Shonen Jump books, which I think has been causing that uptick, right? And this isn't even the Shonen Jump where he first appears, and it's still sold for a ton of money in a 6.5. This is craziness with these Beckett gradings of these books. It's starting to really, really help the market.
That's the slab.
That's the slab.
White?
Yeah. Yeah.
With
black
like a
and white.
sunburst to it.
God.
Well, because when you read manga, it's all black and white on the inside. There's no colors.
Yeah, I don't know if the black and white's that bad, to be honest.
Yeah. Here's the label.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on top.
No, that's the back. Oh, yeah, that's the back.
No, it's the
that's
bottom.
The top. That's the top. Is it the bottom?
Or is it? It's somewhere. It's one of the edges. Where
Yeah.
That's on the bottom?
It's
What
on the top.
fuck?
It's on the top. That'd be cool if it was on the bottom and you could see it from the inside.
No, I think it's on the top where you can read it or you can see it.
Yeah, as you're organizing it.
Yeah, there's the back.
Okay.
And then here's the top. It's got a
I
QR code.
I
That's actually kind of
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
As opposed to their other labels, I think that one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
God.
So this is a reprinting of the first volume of Fist of the North Star stories
it looks
in
great.
Shonen Jump. So
That looks good.
anyways,
Dennis is gonna yell at you next time he sees you.
yeah. Dennis is getting ready to go to Japan. He's going for a Star Wars Celebration. So
I thought he was going to go to the Kumite. No, bottom one.
Moving on. $200 for this in a 6.5.
I thought it was funny. Anyway,
it was
you
funny.
guys are
This
you
all right.
guys are
This
no
is
fun
fucking
tonight,
crazy.
man.
This is the type of shit I love. The Almost 10 so much for these type of books. Pure Images issue number 2, a CGC 9.0 sold for a bunch of money for this book. A 9.0, you guys. How much did it sell for, Stein?
It sold for $225. Is this the right one? I can't remember.
Pure Images number 2.
It might be. I can't.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't remember what it looked like.
So
he's all, hey, grab my balls.
So it's this company, I don't know who they are. They're called Pure Imagination. They did these books called Pure Images in the early 90s, okay? And I don't know what they are. I have to do some more research, but they did one called The Birth of Spider-Man, right? They did one, and the one we're talking about right now called The Birth of Marvel. There's one called Monsters issue. This is the Monsters issue. They did one called The Warren Report with the original. This is another Monsters mag that I remember back in the day. This looks like a buddy of mine, dude. It's so funny. And then here's the crazy book. This Pure
that Ren
Images
and
number
Stimpy?
5 is the very first Ren and Stimpy appearance in comic books.
I knew about that one.
Yeah. So
Thanks
I
to
don't
Bryan.
know much about these. I got to find, but this is the reason I love the Almost 10, because it takes you down these rabbit holes of figuring out these cool books. So I don't know what
So
they
what
are.
was what's the appeal of this number 2 issue?
That's a great question. Let me take a look. How much did 9.0 it said it sold for again?
Yeah, for 9.0 sold for $225. That was the first graded sale of it.
Wow. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what this says about this.
You said that was the first graded sale of this book?
Yep.
Is it also the only one on the census?
It probably is.
I can't find any information about this. I mean, let's go to my comic shop and see if my comic shop has anything.
You sure that's not the first Ren and Stimpy?
Number
no,
2?
it's that.
No,
No,
because
it's
this was
number
about
5.
Marvel Comics.
Yeah, it's the number issue 5 for this Pure Images issue number 5, Adam.
So they're like magazines. So I imagine they're probably like just talking about like the history of comics or what's coming in comics, that type of stuff. Because, so okay, this is what it says. Pure Imagination is a one-man publishing company founded in 1975 by Greg Threakston. The first 20 or so years of the company's history saw a sporadic, eclectic mix of sexually suggestive magazine, bits of action and horror, and the occasional fanzine. The story is called The Birth of Marvel Comics. It's a Spider-Man article that opens. Greg opens the issue with an editorial which suggests that the 1990s are going to be a decade of cultural explosion, based on a theory that the 30s and the 60s were both spectacularly creative, hence a clear 30-year cycle. I don't know. Was he right? Was it a cultural explosion? And then he says the entire article is 30 pages long, although well over half is illustrations, all in black and white. It covers the early days, culminating with a low point in 1956 where Stan pretty much fired all the creative team. After that, there's 5 years of survival mode until the critical moment in 1961 where Jack and Stan's Fantastic Four, #1, signals spectacular dawn of Marvel Comics. And yeah, he just talks about the early days of Marvel Comics, it looks like.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. There's a big issue on spiderfan.org about it if you guys want to go find out more information. So, $225 for a 9.0. Very interesting. I wonder if there's like a cover, like a artist or something in there that maybe did something that we just don't know about yet, or if anybody knows anything other than what I talked about, please drop information below in the live chat or on the replay. All right, next we have a book that I'm sure there's going to be a lot of talk about this if there wasn't already. Mark Spears Monsters, issue number 3, the web store only holofoil variant.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yep. Mad Hatter. So Hood talked about this book as soon as we saw it on.
It's a fucking Wonka book, bro.
Yep. And I remember him telling Mark Spears, he goes, that's going to be a banger. That is going to be a banger. I think this is when he was telling us, he was having us go over all the art, and he was saying, which books should I use for some of the variants that I'm going to be doing? And as soon as we saw this was one of the ones I remember Hood just being like, holy shit.
Bro, that's a badass book, bro.
Yeah.
That fucking Wonka, dude. Looks like Gene Wilder on crack, dude.
Yeah. But here's the thing about this that's kind of interesting. It was a web store only variant, and I think they're pretty expensive out the gate, if I remember correctly. Right, Stein?
I can't remember, but it sold for over $1,000 raw, so I don't think it was $1,000 on the website.
I remember it being expensive. If anybody in the chat can let us know, maybe I think Yee might have said 150. He thought it might have been, or something like that.
This wasn't a Kickstarter?
No, this was one of the original things that he had us go through that didn't sell. Nobody wanted it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
on the original stuff.
This is my pick. This is my pick.
So
They're all saying
200,
200.
200 everybody is saying. So 5 times the price. It sounds like it might have been the first sale too. I don't know if there's been any others. Has there been any other Stein that you saw?
I didn't see any other.
Okay.
I'll pick Mark's next book, bro. I'll get it.
If you had
Anything
it,
Mark
would you
does.
sell it or would you keep it?
If I only had one, I'd keep it. Well, it depends. It depends.
It depends on how much Mark Spears you already have.
Yeah.
If you can afford to let them go and buy some more, then right?
Well, like if Mark didn't put that many of these out there, and
he
you get
didn't
it
have
autographed,
I don't think they did a regular variant of it, but then they did a foil special. So there's only so many of the foil. I don't know how many of the foil are there out there. That's what we got to ask Mark. If you're watching, how many of the foil are out there on this? Let us know if you know.
he's like, "What do you mean I need to brush my teeth? What the fuck?"
Yeah,
bro?
look at that, dude. That is creepy as hell. I love
Is it
how
like
the cards
50?
are on the top too.
Isn't there like 50 or something like that?
Is there 50? Didn't he release
Or is
this?
it 100?
Yeah, it was limited to on the website. It was a web store exclusive, limited on the website. I think it was 150 of the regular and 50 of the holofoil. Yes, that's shout out to Manny and everybody else. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, one sold for $1K, and there was another one that sold, right, Stein?
I don't know. I didn't see another one, but if it just sold today, then I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one sold for 1,000, and then that other one shortly after that sold for like 500.
Yeah.
So I should have put it on Buy the Dip then, huh?
Well, again, Mark Spears. Mark knows his fan base, and he knows, what's good for his brand and his fan base, and it shows you that the stuff that is the rare stuff really is holding a value. So we'll see next year what the value is on this stuff, if it really holds the value.
I think it'll hold.
I think the rare stuff.
Well, I mean, it's still sold for more than the buy-in at 500.
100%, way more than the buy-in.
Yeah, so if it settles somewhere in between there, I guess.
But
right?
if Spears wasn't around, right? I mean, he injected something into the hobby, to get people excited about books again, man, because it got stale, and you like it when artists or writers they get on a wave like Dave Stevens, and it helps the hobby, man, when you have outliers like this, man.
Yeah. Yep. Doc Joe said one of the 1 to 100 sold for $695 on eBay.
The only thing that would make this cover better is if it were like shadow bar, or like had like the shadow above it, like a Glamour Shots.
You know what would make it good? If you had a fucking Wonka bar on there, dude, like a monster Wonka bar.
But this is like the Mad Hatter from.
Nah, I'm calling it Wonka.
Okay.
Moving on, we have a classic Stein almost 10 pick, in both figuratively and truly classic, from 1968 Miami Pop Festival, the official program and map to the Pop Festival. Look how stylistic that cover is.
I thought you would love this one.
I absolutely do. And it looks even better in person, like the original.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, oh, McClay's going to love this one.
Yeah, look how
so
good
the
this
only
looks.
way you can properly see this cover if you're on LSD, right?
Look how good that looks. Even with the damage, it looks good. Look at the interiors. Like, it is just pure.
Oh, that is awesome.
Look at this.
Fright mask.
And it's still in there. You can punch it out. Look at the back. Oh, I don't know. What is this? It just says head. Oh, Oh, it's the Monkeys movie, Head. I remember they made that movie, the psychedelic movie. It was the first like psychedelic movie. Oh, look at the back is a Steppenwolf. That's such a cool piece of nostalgia right there. 50 cents. 1968, you guys. How much did this sell for?
It sold for 85.
Wow.
I almost feel like 85 is probably a good, but I've never even seen this. I mean, how many of these possibly survived the 60s?
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Not many, especially with all the.
I just realized something. Doc Joe bought a store variant. The world is ending. Like the world is ending. Like run, like something is wrong
You
in
can
the
tell
universe.
Yee
If
is
he's
stoned
buying...
because it took him that long to put that together. He was just sitting there going.
I just realized that just now. I was like, dang, there's something wrong in the universe if Doc Joe's buying store variants.
The Miami Pop Festival, huh? And it's
Breaking the
published
rules,
by
pal.
Welsh Publishing, which is interesting because it was a Miami Pop Festival. Isn't Wales in England, so to say, UK? Anyways, very, very cool piece of nostalgia. But here's the funny part. This 1968 Miami Pop Festival sells this week and makes Stein go, what's this? And so does this book, 68, issue number 2, the Nat Jones Hendrix variant. This is a dope book. I know we've talked about this before sometime, but it's nice to see these rare books, these ghost books.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, pop up in sales every once in a while, you know. Makes you remember how rare they truly are.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have, like, if I just glanced at this, if I would have been thinking Hendrix, I would have just been like, that's a gruesome cover, and that would probably have been it. But then you, like, when you really start to look at it, you're like, oh, okay, I think it is.
Hendrix or Prince?
Right? Because it kind of looks like something Prince would wear.
Could be either. But I will say this, if you aren't familiar with Nat Jones's, like, his horror type covers and stuff, like, you're missing out. He's got some crazy covers. He did a lot of, what was that Frazetta series that he did a lot of the variants for?
Yeah.
The Death Dealer or whatever.
Yeah, for Opus, and I think. But he also did, he has a really, really good Uncle Sam variant for the volume 1 of this series. I can't remember. I forget what it was called. It was Nat Jones, right? Not Mac Jones. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be interesting if it was Mac Jones.
Yeah, but he has a really good Garbage Pail Kids variant, Adam Baum variant that is phenomenal. So really good artist. All right, moving on next. This one's crazy. I've never seen this before. The Punisher issue number 1 from 2018, specifically the Clayton Crane Purple 129 homage variant. So he did a regular of this that was yellow, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
But there's this purple variant that I believe was a store variant, limited to 600, supposedly. And I've never seen this.
Me neither. It's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. 110 raw on this.
Wow.
So I mean, I don't know how, if 600 is legit or not legit. I would say probably not, but yeah. Good for you, Liger.
Yeah, hell
Sell.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If this is really truly 600, this might be a cool book to hold on to. I might hold on to this book at 110.
Maybe get it slabbed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. If it's in good condition. But great book. Great almost 10 book. And moving on to Ex-Presidents. I remember this. The old Robert Smigel. Was it Saturday Night Live? He did the ambiguously gay duo, and wasn't this a Saturday Night Live skit too, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
Ex-Presidents. It's a one-shot though, I believe, that he put out.
Wow, I didn't know they made a book. That's cool, man.
Yeah, graphic novel.
It's a
Well,
graphic
it's-
novel.
Mm-hmm.
It says at the bottom, as seen on.
Yeah, there you go. Saturday Night Live TV Funhouse. Yep.
Yeah, now I don't know how much his autograph is actually worth, but this one was a signed copy that sold for $90 raw. But I mean, I've never even heard of this publisher at all. I can't imagine that this is like super plentiful, right?
Random
House?
It's not by Rand, it's by Villard.
Oh, Villard. You're right. You're right. It is by Villard.
Hmm.
Yeah. Random House must just be like a shtick thing they put up there. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard of them either. But I imagine that, and it's signed. I think a lot of them are signed, right?
I guess. I don't know. It cracks me up what Bill Clinton is saying there. And it's the word bubble is just funny.
I have lusted in my heart to kick your ass.
I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it just does.
Wait, are you reading it in Clinton's voice?
Is it Clinton or
Yes.
is it Jimmy Carter?
Mm.
Is that Carter or Clinton? I can't see. I'm blind.
I can't tell either. Read my lips. You're toast, punk. That's got to be Bush. One. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Shout out to all old school Robert Smigel fans. All right, moving on.
Oh, it's not as funny if it's Carter. It was
No,
way
it's not
funnier
as
if
funny
it
as
was
it's
Clinton.
Carter. All right, Vampirella issue number 25 from 2021. The Josh Burns Virgin variant is fucking gorgeous. Holy shit, is this beautiful?
Yeah, I hadn't seen this one. Yeah, CGC 98 sold for $240 on this one. I mean, 500 for a Vampirella book is not like super rare, but yeah,
Unfortunately, it is from a retailer that I don't trust a single bit anymore. But so I'm not gonna be too sure about that 500 variant. I'll just say that straight up. And you're right.
Dang.
Yeah.
Let me get my popcorn while you say their name.
No.
Hey, let's be honest. There's only a handful of them that we actually do trust.
You got it.
That's true.
You got it.
I mean, that's just the truth.
Yep.
No.
But it is fucking beautiful. That's for sure. Josh Burns killed this. He destroyed it. Makes me want to go immediately look at more Josh Burns art.
I've got a bunch of them. I was collecting Burns for a while. He's got a lot of books that are not as I would say probably not as I mean they kind of are. But I remember the first Josh Burns that I ever saw was that it was a Zenescope book where the girl is like looking up and she had like a little beanie on or something like that. It was real colorfI remember that from years and years and years ago. But he's done a few sword variants on these, but I've not seen this one before.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. That's for sure. This one is up there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Almost 10 brought to you by the House of Stein. You can see here, right here, every week, every Friday, right before the actual list. Starting off with our Golden Age honorable mention, a book that I feel like, did we talk about this book on the show a few weeks ago? The Nirvana, what is it? Nirvana of the Northern Lights or something like that. We talked about this.
It was something else. It was a different Canadian.
Yeah.
Northern Light. It was like the northern. It was like something else Canadian, but.
Oh, but wasn't it in like French
it
or
was
something
the
like
Orb.
that?
We were talking about the Orb, and we wanted to find out what was the very first Canadian superhero, and it was this book tied with another one. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And I saw this sale.
It's sold.
Yeah, I saw this sale, and I was like, "Holy cow, that's crazy!"
Yeah, $15K for what was it? A CGC 6? Is that what it was?
Yeah, dude, it was a mid-grade book, but this book is rare, super rare. So,
yeah, I can't imagine very many people have this book.
Do you think it went back to Canada?
that's a good question.
I know they probably had to pay a tariff on it, so probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Or is it a Canadian that's living in the U.S. right now? That's like,
Hey,
this guy
maybe
remind me
right,
of
there you go.
Canadians are serious. Yeah, have you never listened to there's a bunch of Canadians that we've done podcasts with.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Hyper Combo Newbie.
Yep. Black Crown.
Oh, and I was going to say,
Lefteros.
by the way, too, if anybody doesn't know, last week on the suggestion, mostly the suggestion of Bronze Age Nerd, but I actually started clipping these and like putting the list on Instagram. So if you do miss the show, you can just see the list.
Very.
I told you to do that like a year ago.
I know. I'm a slacker so bad, and I was like, fine, I'll do it.
I even told you I would go by and make screenshots and square them up for
you
to help contribute.
Ridiculous. I'm so ridiculous. I really am.
Just give me access to your Instagram account already. No, I'm sure.
All right, moving on to our regular honorable mention. This one from one of the people that put us on to this, the one and only Mighty Mel V. Who talked about this. The Prodigal Son, the issue 1/Ashcan recalled variant. A book that was recalled because of the video game homage they did. We're hearing 3 covers, but I can only find 2. Now, there is a Whatnot variant for this that there was only 150 printed, but only 50 got out because they said that they wanted them recalled, and only 50 got out. So there is a PS2 variant, this right here. I don't know how many of those got out. And there's a regular one, which you guys see, and a lot of those are signed. You can find them. So some of them got out. We don't know how many were actually pulped or recalled, which is very interesting. But that rarity causes this book to be desirable. And there was some sales over the past couple months that kind of made people go, what's going on here?
So what? I mean, so you're saying that it was recalled because it was like they didn't get.
They didn't get the permission to utilize the.
People do that crap all the time.
I don't know if it was the homage or the style of the box, or they put a logo on something that they didn't like, but they were told because of Riot Games, I think it was recalled. I'll try to find some more information on it real quick here.
It would have been Rockstar Games.
Rockstar Games, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, because of Red Dead Redemption. But I mean, is it also because of the color pattern too? But I mean, it's like the same color palette too as well. So maybe it's like too similar to the Red Dead Redemption, right?
Yeah, except for there's 2 people on it.
Yeah, but isn't there 2 people on the?
I don't think so. I think there's just the
or at least on the second one, isn't there?
It was people? Rockstar that put out the lawsuit. Yeah. Mel talked about it 5 days ago. He says that there was a Whatnot version limited to 150. I was told 100 copies were confiscated at NYCC, so they are tentatively only 50 of the Whatnot versions out there. And here is what Mel says, and this is what the Whatnot one looks like. So. Pretty interesting. And I'm not surprised that there's a little buzz around this because Mighty Mel V did recently return to Drunken Chat, which was pretty awesome. So shout out to all the drunken sharks out there. But very interesting, rare book right here. It was Rockstar Games, though, supposedly, that had the lawsuit. Here's some more.
The cease and desist or whatever.
Yeah. Here's some more information about it. It says,
it's just so weird that they would.
Oh yeah, there's the Whatnot variant right there, and it is in stock at this site. So there you go. Go eat, everybody. Go eat.
I mean, it just seems like that's a really odd thing to get mad at. I mean, it's not like this is like degrading to the video game. People be like, I would think it would only enhance people wanting to go buy the video game. What is Hood doing? Is he massaging his dog?
No, man, it's not on.
Did he get a haircut? Did he get a haircut?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi, Chewy.
Chewy got a haircut.
Oh, his name is Chewy? That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, moving on to number 10 this week, a killer, absolutely killer variant by Image and McFarlane Productions for Spawn 362. See, you very rarely see Spawn variants, but when they come out, they really hit the mark, and this one hit the mark in a major way.
Do you like this black and white one or the color one better?
I like the black and white better because it has the blue board. What do they call those? Something boards. The
original art frames, right? Or something
yeah. But it's the board that you draw on.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Submission
Jeremy,
board.
our boy Jeremy, who drops a $3 super sticker. What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Yeah, sorry about your job or your dog, Jeremy.
Oh yeah, man. He just posted something. He said his dog passed away. Man, that's a bummer, bro. That's a bummer.
Was this the one in 100?
No,
this is just a C. It's just a.
Sorry to hear about that, Jeremy.
This is just a C cover, open order.
Yep.
As is the B. The color is got the trade dress, and it's just a B cover.
And the color looks good too. It looks really good. I'll show you that one.
I always forget like that's Spawn and Image. They don't do all the crazy incentive covers and you know isn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these books are still $2.99.
Yep,
they are
$2.99.
Holding the line at $2.99.
Yeah, McFarlane's he probably doesn't make a ton of money off of Spawn comics anymore, but he doesn't have to, and it's his baby, and he knows that, you know, what he wants for his comic, and it's quality all the time at a great price. So
I like the color version too as well. That looks pretty sick.
These were both limited at Midtown to one per customer, and they still sold out.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude. Really, really good. So what are they seeing on the secondary market right now?
This one's doing about $10. So it's a $3 cover price, and it's basically selling for like triple the cover price. So
and sold out on the market level, it sounds like. So that is a dope cover. Perfect.
Supposedly the price increase is coming. I mean, adding $1 to it, is that really going to break the bank? I mean, if they went from like $2.99 to $9.99, I could see a problem. But I understand that you have to raise the price point because of cost of materials going up and paper.
Yeah. All right, moving on to number 9 this week. This is a funny series, Assorted Crisis Events, issue number 1 from Image Comics that came out this week, or this week. This is the Mike Del Mundo 1-in-25 variant. And do you guys know what this series is about? This is a funny series. It's basically what if Crisis on Infinite Earths happened to real humans. So,
oh, that's funny.
Yeah. What if it really happened?
Without superheroes?
Yes. Yeah. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool idea. Yeah. I think Lemire, right? Is it Jeff Lemire or Rick Remender? Maybe somebody like that. I can't remember who, but really
this
cool
one's
idea.
this one's doing just a little bit above ratio. It's selling for like 25 to 30.
Not bad.
But I generally like Del Mundo stuff anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. Cool series too. All right, moving on to number 8 this week, a return book, Blade Forager, issue number 1, the In-Hook Lee 1-in-10 variant. It's gone up in price on the secondary market, which is rare.
Yeah, last week this one was selling for about 15. Now it's about 30. So it's picking up steam.
Yeah. Cool cover. And it should have been a Sith character. Moving on to number 7.
Bacon Sith.
Sister Imperator, issue number 1. For all you fans of the band Ghost, got a new Ghost album getting ready to be released. They did they did put out their first single off the album, and the lead singer's been doing all kinds of interviews around social media and YouTube content, which is pretty cool to hear him talk about, the band and his vision for the band and all that stuff. I mean, if you guys don't know who the band Ghost is, go do a deep dive. Even if you don't like their music at first, continue just like listening to their stuff and finding out stuff. They were so mysterious back in the day because you didn't know who they were because they all wore masks and they didn't explain who they were. And they have this really cool like shtick story like about like religion and the Pope and evil popes and it's crazy stuff. But this is a comic based on the story of those popes and those evil people. Sister Imperator is one of the characters, and
so basically, what you told me is it's Guar without the blood in the shows.
Yes, and it's very theatrical, and the music is you might not like it at first, but then you'll kind of
it'll grow on you.
It'll grow on you, yeah, because it's a shtick. It's
or is the music so out there, trance like
yes,
that it just sucks you in. It's kind of situation where it's
very interesting.
where it's like kind of like you listen to it for the first time, you're like, oh, I don't really like this, and then as you keep on listening to it more and more, you get engulfed. And that's what happened to me for a band like Between the Buried and Me.
Yeah. This is for those of you guys that don't know who Ghost is. Let me go ahead and show you. I'll mute it so we don't get hit with a copyright strike. But let's see here.
I guess my question is, do you think that I would like them?
Well, here, check it out. This is
how much metal do you like?
I'm out. But Sister Imperator is one of the characters in the whole shtick, and the fans of the band are very into this stuff. So I'm not surprised to see it on the secondary market.
Yeah, 15 to 20 on this one now. This just came out last week.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
There is a web store exclusive that is a red foil of this that might still be available if you guys go check it out. So
nice. Yeah. And at least it's not a tidal wave book. So
there you go. That is cool. Yeah. So moving on to number 6 this week. I have to change this because there we go. The green cover would totally you guys can see the difference because I use green screen for a lot of the stuff that I do, and you guys can see it just messes it up. So I have a little overlay for The Death of Copra. What is this? Issue number 6? Is it what this is? 3.
So close.
The 1 in 25. They've been doing. I think we talked about this recently too. They've been doing a thing where they do the old school characters for their 1 in 25s of the old school Image run and stuff, and they always sell. And I'm not surprised to see it here. So.
Yeah, this one just came out this week. Like 40 plus. I question whether or not those are real sales, but I guess they could be.
Yeah, that's a lot for this book, but they always do. They, for some reason, they show up on the House of Stein list all the time, man. So
is that supposed to be Witchblade?
Yeah, that's Witchblade. Yeah. It's very stylistic art too on these. The 1 in 20 is excellent for this. The 1 in 20 looks beautiful. So, but all the 1 in 25s are very stylistic. Yeah, Michael Fife Green, is that what is it? Michael Fife, yeah, has a dedicated following, says Zabit. So, I don't know what it's about. If anybody have been reading this or know what this is about, let us know, because it sounds interesting.
Death of Copra, whoever
Yeah,
that
I
is.
don't know who Copra is. So, moving on to number 5 this week. Berserker is back on the list. Berserker issue number 1 with recent movie option news, right? They are.
Let me go find my copies.
Yeah, they are. There's a movie coming soon. They have hired a screenwriter and director, I think. The director of Fast and the Furious is doing it. And so we're going, and of course, Keanu Reeves is going to be producing it and starring in it as well. So people put it back in the news. People remember it and go, I need to go pick up maybe a 9.8 real quick.
Yeah, 70 to 75. It was like $50. But my gosh, the print run on this was what, like 500,000?
Yeah, it was a lot.
What? You didn't buy 1,000 copies just to get Keanu's auto?
I'll tell you this, though. Here's something very interesting about that. Shout out to Ross Ritchie, who has been on Beyond Wednesdays and talked about this. A lot of people who ordered this, a lot of retailers out there who ordered this, because they were returnable, returned them all. So I wonder how many of these got pulped, because I can't remember if they to return them they had to rip the covers off, but they returned them because they just wanted the 1 in 1,000s. And there were retailers that returned 900 plus copies of these books.
How is that possibly a good idea?
I think the way Ross talked about it, he says it wasn't at the time and it kind of burned them. But you learn from it. So,
but I mean, that was also like the end of that program too, that Diamond was accepting those returns because stores, that's what stores were doing, right?
Yep.
They were going through way beyond what they would normally sell through, just to sell incentive covers, cover their costs or whatever, make a few bucks, and then return like whatever inventory they have left over or what they can't sell. Yep. And then, obviously it's going to be credit and so they're going to just repeat that cycle over and over again until the distribution tells you that, oh, we're no longer doing that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably like one of the downfalls of, Diamond or whatever, however you want to look at it.
It could be
one of their downfalls.
Yeah, I mean,
one of their many.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't helping any stores to do that.
Nope.
Maybe a handful.
Yeah, neither was letting them, go on the dole for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they did that too. Maybe they thought they were trying to save comics, and maybe they were at the time for a long time. A lot of people don't think about that, they give them a lot of grief, but in all reality, if the Jeppies weren't that generous and didn't think that way, how many retailers would still be around, for 10 plus years or 15 plus years? It's very interesting. And I'll tell you this, I bet you in a year to a year and a half's time, once the sale is done and more people come out and talk about it, there's going to be a lot of crazy stories that we're going to hear from that time period, the last 10 years of comic distribution and Diamond distribution. So if you have a 9.8 of this and you overpaid back in the day, I would love to know what you overpaid for a 9.8 of this, because there were a ton of these printed, so I don't know how many people really graded 9.8s in number 1. If you're sitting on it, now might be your time to make a little bit more money than you would have in the past. So, moving on to number 4 this week, a killer, absolutely killer G.I. Joe variant. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero from IDW in 2018, issue number 250, specifically the Jamie Tyndall Bombshell Inc. variant. I don't know if Bombshell Inc. was a store or not. That's why I put it on there. But this is a tough book to find, and it's selling for a decent amount raw right now.
Yeah. He did a dual cover as well.
Viper's one, right?
Yeah, I can't remember who was on it, but there was multiple characters on that.
I remember this one though too. You remember this one? Did he this was a special variant maybe that he did? I don't know.
I know that's the same cover, though, right?
Same cover with a different background. Yeah, and you have the G.I. Joe image trade dress on this one, but it's the same pose as Baroness. The problem with, and I don't know if it's a problem with Tyndall, but I've heard people complain about it, is like he'll use his art on other covers. Like let me see if I can find something. Like where he'll use the same art multiple times. Like you can see here.
Oh, where it's the same pose or whatever.
It's the same pose, and and it's for, sometimes he'll even use it for different companies. Like, wasn't he doing the White Widow stuff or something like that? Remember the White Widow? So, I don't know if he does that anymore, but back in the day, that was something that was happening. But this one, I've never seen this. I don't remember seeing this version of this with the G.I. Joe trade.
I've seen it before.
Okay.
Because if you look at the thumbnail from Long Story Short yesterday,
is that what it is?
This book.
Okay.
Yeah. But so I know a little bit more information about this book too. So this is from Jamie Tyndall's like store exclusive. So I think that's where that company name comes from.
Bombshell
so it's from his store. Yeah. So it's from him. But I mean, I guess enough copies had sold this week to make it to number 4.
Yeah.
So I blame you, Ben.
Yeah, this was only like this is only like a $30 to $40 book, and this week is selling for $125 to $150.
Wow.
Yeah,
Baroness, man, that's the power of the Baroness. That's the power of the Baroness. Everybody, remember that.
Do you like Baroness better or Scarlet?
Baroness.
I agree.
You gotta like those bad bitches. So,
well,
yeah.
I'll just say, yeah, just remember. Just remember that. All right. Moving on to number 3.
We need to have a Baroness, just a list.
Yes.
Of the best Baroness covers.
Yes, because
you can call it the almost Baroness list.
We might be adding someone to that list too here soon. Moving on to number 3. Rogue Sun issue number 25, the 1 in 25 from Detective Comics 38 homage that they did. This is the special version that you're seeing on the screen. This is the House of Stein Hot 10 version that you're seeing. So
with the outer space.
The outer space,
variant.
yeah. That's a cool one.
Oh, I saw that the other day on I forgot what book it was. It was something you had. Was it during Beyond or the
it was
Market Report?
Yeah, the Spider-Gwen
the
variant.
window.
Yeah.
Dude, it looked way cooler for the Beyond Wednesday version than the actual version, because I was looking at the actual version. I was like, this looks like shit. And then I looked at your version. I was like, whoa. Like, I would totally pay for a variant that looked like that.
Oh, man. This is a... I've never heard of this series. Have you guys heard of this series? I don't. It's 25 issues. I don't remember it.
Yeah, so this was a part of the
Radiant,
what was it? Yeah, the Radiant Black universe.
Okay.
So it's one of those parallel storylines to it. Yeah.
Higgins verse.
Cool.
Image Power Rangers. Oh, oops. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't know how to read. All right.
Do you think this one is selling because it's a 1 in 25 of a number 25 issue, which means it's probably pretty rare, or do you think it's selling because it's just the homage?
Both.
I don't really even like this. So I don't even really like. I never thought that cover was that great.
I agree. I never liked this homage. Yeah, it's boring.
Well, why didn't they just wait until issue 38 to do the homage?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they're not that far away, right?
It's not a good cover to homage, in my opinion, but I agree with you, Stein. But it sells. It always sells. It's just like Action Comics number 1. Action Comics number 1's a boring homage, but look at that Ice Cream Man variant for Action Comics number 1. It's like a $50, $60 book or $100 book.
Still?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I'm glad I bought one from Big Leg for $40 then.
Yeah. It's nuts.
or $30. I don't remember. It was a Whatnot book.
Yeah.
I used my COVID I don't give a fuck money.
So very, very cool. Chucky Valdez says, Brian, I think I met you at Zia when Ghost had their acoustic set there. Maybe. Shout out to all the Ghost fans.
That sounds
might have been
like
Kyle,
something
though.
that you and Kyle would go to.
Yeah, it might have been Kyle though. So we'll see.
Mm.
Because I'm going to see Chucky at WonderCon this year. I think Chucky said he's going to WonderCon, so I'll be in WonderCon in 2 weeks with Big Leg and Big Clutch. So
Ooh, that'll be fun.
yeah, it's gonna be good. I got to see how much flights are to get out there. So if anybody's gonna be at WonderCon this year, let me know. We'll figure out a way to all get together and drink some beer and enjoy some food, I imagine. So
Man, I already booked my flight to C2E2, and that's next month.
yeah, man, a lot of people. I wish I was going to C2E2. I really do.
I hadn't been, and it was one of those cons that, it's on my list of cons to go to, and like, who can say no to deep dish pizza?
There you go.
It's big. C2E2's it's at the Rosemont, right?
I have no idea where it's at, to be completely honest.
That's where it's been before. Rosemont is
Okay.
huge. It's a huge, and luckily it's not downtown, so it's right by O'Hare. So
is
that's
it?
cool.
yeah, so it's
Sweet.
nowhere close to downtown, so you don't have to deal with downtown traffic. Not that traffic by O'Hare is nice, but it's at least on the outskirts of town.
Oh, that's cool. I'm excited to go because I hadn't been to Chicago in like, I don't know. Has it almost been 10 years? Maybe 7?
If I can, it's probably an impossibility, but if I can find a way to drive up, I'll drive up.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Because Drew's supposed to be there, and Clutch and all that.
A lot of people are going.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on to number 2 this week. Impact Winter, issue number 1 from 2022 in Image Comics, recently acquired by Netflix, this series. So, selling for a decent amount on the option news.
This is just a single issue, right?
I don't know if it's a single issue. It's just an A cover. I know that. It's just a regular cover.
But I mean, there's no other issues though, right? This is just a one-shot?
Let me take a look here.
All I know is it's selling for, it was like a $20 book, which still seemed high, but now it's at like 40 plus.
Yeah, this was recently, it was in,
Yep. One
Yep.
shot, July
Yeah,
of
just a one
2022.
Yep. So recently in Deadline, talking about this, got optioned. Let's see here. Here we go. Impact Winter. Sorry, Winter. I thought it was Writer. I put Writer on there. Impact Winter, acquired by Netflix. It's a post-apocalyptic vampire series based on a hit podcast. That's very interesting. The best-selling podcast plays out on the order of an old radio teleplay like War of the Worlds by Orson Welles. It has 3 seasons with a 4th coming and has racked up nearly 6 million subscribers. It says here, a comet hits the Earth and results are apocalyptic. As a result, the sun is blocked out and humans become pitted against vampires. The way in is 2 sisters who find themselves on opposite sides of the war. So there you go. Pretty interesting. Impact Winter.
So there's 3 one-shots for this. It's Impact Winter Brook, and then Impact Winter Evenfall. And it's like 22, 23, 24.
Not bad.
So I wonder if there's a 4th series coming out this year.
Well, yeah, because it has the 4th year of the podcast. So I imagine each book is for 1 year of the podcast. So pretty cool that it's based on a podcast. That actually makes it really cool. So check it out. $40 plus for this one shot. All right, number 1 this week, Absolute Batman, issue number 4, the second print, 1 in 25 variant by Gabriel Hernandez, comes out of nowhere and lands on the list.
Okay, so maybe I'm missing something.
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you're not.
I'm like, it's okay,
Yeah.
but it's not like great.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean,
I got to be honest.
I'm
There's very few artists that can pull off good covers with this Absolute Batman design. There's only been a few to me. The Nick Dragotta, the original cover, the Ben Olivier or Oliver, however you say it, his version. Like you have to have. There's Mark's was decent, but not great as the rest of Mark's stuff. Mark Spears, you know, like it's very hard to do something really good with this style Batman. He's just so big, and the suit's kind of.
Just give it to Frank Miller and let him handle this.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of 90% of the covers for Absolute Batman. The Dragotta ones, most of the Dragotta ones are good, and then there's a couple every once in a while that really hit. So, but
I saw this and I was like, why on earth is this selling for like $60? And there was a bunch of sales. I mean, a bunch in that $60 range. And I'm just like, why? Is there something in this particular issue that's making...
it's the middle of the first story arc. The first story arc ends at 7, I believe. And then it goes into a Mr. Freeze story arc, and then it goes into the Joker story arc, I think, close to after that. So it's the first story arc, it's just in the middle of the story arc, and it's a second print. So it's nothing crazy. It's just the 1 in 25. I don't get it either, man. It's weird how sometimes these variants and they don't last long. It'll be interesting to see if this book lasts on the list very long, because let's be honest, there's very few books that last that good that are that good that last on the list multiple times, and it's just like FOMO, maybe, you know. It's the FOMO thing. 1 in 25. I don't know, man. Who knows? It's interesting.
I mean, even his bat logo just looks like it's like covered up like a bar that's over, you know, an advertisement or something like that. It doesn't even look like that's a bat symbol at all.
Yeah, it's not a good cover.
The whole thing is just weird. I just was so confused by it.
Well, I mean, sometimes, again, the books aren't on the list all because we love all of them. That's for sure.
That is true.
You know,
or have them. I'm once again over everything. I don't think I have any of these books.
Shout out to Alex for the $10 super chat. He says, "Great show, everyone, and rest in peace, Papa Stein. Sorry for your loss, Ben." Ben getting ready to go to his father's celebration of life tomorrow, I believe, right? Or yeah. It was kind of weird because it happened, you know, a few months ago, but now so like normally you kind of get through that process and then you just move on, but now I have to go back and revisit it again. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer, but it is life. It's, you know, death is something that we have to deal with, and as you get older, it just it sucks. It becomes something that happens more and more often, and it fucking sucks. There's nothing worse. So everybody out there, thank you for watching tonight, and send those positive thoughts out to Stein's Way. We'll see you guys again next week, right here on the House of Stein. What do you say, brother? See you. All right, starting off with our Golden Age honorable mention, Nelvana of the Northern Lights, one of the very first, if not the first, Canadian superhero for comics from 1945, sold for a big amount for a mid-grade CGC 6.0, $15,600. Absolutely amazing. Cool book. Next, we have Prodigal Son, the recalled NYCC Ashcan edition. There are 3 versions, including a Whatnot version that is not seen. We don't know too much about this, other than that it was recalled based on what we believe was a Rockstar Games lawsuit. We'll see how if we get more information on this one, but shout out to the Mighty Mel V and the Drunken Sharks, who recently mentioned this about a week ago and putting it on some people's list to check out recent sales. And there's been some recent sales on this one. So, but until we find out more, keep your eyes open. And if you hear anything, let us know. At number 10, a killer variant from the Spawn crew from Image Comics this week, Todd McFarlane Productions. Spawn 362, the Jeff Monk Virgin variant, which is a killer variant on the regular Jeff Monk B cover. This one has the really cool sketch opportunities all written all over it, and sold out at Midtown Comics as well, I believe. This one is selling for $10 plus. At number 9, Assorted Crisis Events issue number 1 from Mike Del Mondo, a 1 in 25 cover. This one, very interesting story about what if Crisis on Infinite Earths happened for us. From Image Comics this year, recently came out. Very, very cool book. This one is selling for $25 to $30 raw on the secondary market. At number 8, a return book, Blade Forager, issue number 1, the Unhuck Lee 1 in 10, is now selling for $30 plus, up from the $15 plus it was at last week. At number 7, Sister Imperator, issue number 1, for all the Ghost fans out there, a new album getting ready to be dropped by the band Ghost. And now we have a Dark Horse Comics based on one of their characters, the Sister Imperator character. This one is issue number 1, and it's selling for a decent amount, $15 to $20 plus. Be on the lookout for a red foil version of this from their website. At number 6, this is interesting. Death of Cobra, issue number 3, the Michael Fife 1 in 25 variant. These sell for some reason. People buy them up, and this one's at $40 plus raw on the secondary market. At number 5, we have Berserker issue number 1, with the recent movie news bringing in the director of Fast and the Furious. This one is back on people's minds, and 9/8 are back up to $75. Be on the lookout if you want to sell some. The time is coming, that's for sure. At number 4, a killer G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero cover from IDW in 2018 out of Jamie Tyndall's own web store, Bombshell Inc. This is issue number 250, the Jamie Tyndall variant. Beautiful Baroness cover. This one is selling for a decent amount. Was $30 to $40. Now it's $125 to $150 on the secondary market. And number 3, Rogue Son, issue number 25. This, the Detective Comics 38 homage, 1 in 25, the special House of Stein edition on your screen. This is selling for $35 to $50 raw on the secondary market. At number 2, Impact Winter, issue number 1, a one-shot based on a podcast series that is getting ready to drop series 4, year 4 of that podcast. This one was recently acquired by Netflix and is now selling for $40 plus on the secondary market. Pretty cool. And at number 1, Absolute Batman, issue number 4, the 1 in 25 second print cover by Gabriel Hernandez, is selling for $50 to $60 on the secondary market raw. A recent book, and more of the multiple printing ratio variant books showing up on the House of Stein list. This is the House of Stein Hot 10 show for March 14th, 2025. We'll see you guys next week. Adios.